What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Bigboysnacksjonnytv. Welcome back to the channel. And tonight I'll go over my AEW Dynamite 250 review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content like this. Follow my social media down below in the description. And go check out my WWE NXT review and highlights. It's posted on the channel right now as we speak. Now let's get down to business. Now AEW Dynamite was a very good show. The crowd was red hot, and that's all I have to say. It says AEW Dynamite was live at Little Rock, Arkansas Simmons Bank Arena. All right, first time 250 time since October 2019. It's time for AEW Dynamite. We kick off at ringside for our opening match as MJF makes his way to the ring. Out next is Will Ospreay to a big pop from the Little Rock crowd as the AEW International Champion heads to the ring before this match gets underway. Alright, so we get the first match of the night. So we get the AEW International Championship match, versus Will Will Ospreay versus MJF. This was the match of the night right here. This match was fantastic. But I have every right to question this. Why was this match not main evented tonight? I would have kicked off with Swerve Strickland versus Okada first, and then do Will Ospreay versus MJF for the AEW International Championship in the main event. Easy, simple booking. But this right here, this was the match of the night right here. This was fantastic. By Will Ospreay and MJF got physical, and I like how the cameraman was panning over of MJF and Will Ospreay fighting at the crowd. So I like that. This was the match of the night. Should have been main event. That's all I have to say. All right. Two men stare each other down as the bell rings. The crowd eager to see what happens until MJF leaves the ring, escaping to the crowd for what appears to be a water break from a fan ripping up a sign before heading back to the ring. Will Ospreay goes to lock up, and MJF evades him to strut. We finally get a lockup now as the two trade holds on Will Ospreay, with Will Ospreay flipping out of a wrist lock and giving a strut of his own. And MJF gets a side headlock. MJF gets a side headlock on, but Will Ospreay gets to the ropes, escaping to catch MJF off his game only for only for MJF to duck down to evade the aerial assassin. The two lock up again, but MJF complains to the referee about his hair being pulled. Another tied up lead leads to a similar similar result before Will Ospreay sends the former world champion out of the ring. MJF saves himself from a dive by Will Ospreay, but Will Ospreay catches him with a different one entirely. He brings MJF back into the ring, hitting a back suplex for a near fall before setting up for a hidden blade, only for MJF to get to the corner to avoid the attack. He he reel he reels Will Ospreay into the bottom turnbuckle and taunts the crowd before locking in an armbar. Will Ospreay gets to his feet but is slammed down by MJF, who goes for a back suplex of his own. But Will Ospreay counters out only to be caught with a jawbreaker of short for a near fall. Will Ospreay managed to escape a heat seeker, but MJF catches him off the springboard for a cutter, only picking up another near fall. As a result, Will Ospreay once again evades a heat seeker, setting up for an elbow off the top turnbuckle. Both men are slow to get to their feet, but once they do, they start trading punches until Will Ospreay gets sent to the ropes, where he catches MJF with a forearm, forcing him to the outside. MJF takes a breather, but not for long, as Will Ospreay catches him with a cartwheel dive over the top rope. All right, Will Ospreay goes up top for a moonsault, but MJF rolls away, only for Will Ospreay to hit a second moonsault. And as MJF tries to roll forward, he gets caught with a standing shooting star press for a near fall by Will Ospreay, who follows up with a sky twister for another near fall. MJF rolls to the outside, but is caught is caught by the aerial assassin who drops him back to the floor before grabbing a table from ringside. MJF escapes that danger as he heads back in the ring, crawling to the corner to beg off the champion, only only to get a set of chops for his troubles. Will Ospreay charges back at MJF, who fights his way out and brings a hurt knee before catching Will Ospreay with a pile driver for a close near fall. Will Ospreay is struggling to move as MJF has some words for Daniel Garcia through the camera before going back to the champion, who fought back to his feet for a chop on MJF. Will Ospreay hits the ropes, but ends up running right into a knee from MJF, who drops to his knees from the impact. MJF goes back after the leg of Will Ospreay, setting up for a freaky four-leg line. MJF slaps the champ and uses the pressure to force him to his shoulders for a near fall. But Will Ospreay works to reverse the pressure onto the challenger. Despite being close to the ropes, MJF decides to receive curse to keep the hold on the champion, who finally grabs the bottom rope, forcing a break. Will Ospreay slowly gets to his feet before MJF sends him to the corner for some chops, sending him across the ring to cause even more damage on the champ, who favors his knee after the crash. MJF brings him back up for another chop, sending him to the ropes, and Will Ospreay's knee seemingly gives out, causing him to crash to the mat. Will Ospreay checks on his knee on the apron while the referee checks on him. But MJF goes right back to work by going after Will Ospreay, who fights back to his feet with some chops, even while struggling to walk MJF with a chop block to the front of Will Ospreay's knee, but it's only good for a 2 count on the champ. MJF takes Will Ospreay to the ropes once more for some strikes before sending him across the ring, only for Will Ospreay to catch and drops the challenger to the mat. MJF managed to get back to his feet, calling for a brainbuster, but Will Ospreay fights out before hitting a Oscutter on MJF. MJF rolls out of the ring to prevent further momentum for the champ, who looks for an Oscar on the apron, but MJF falls backwards to avoid it, forcing Will Ospreay to crash into the apron instead. Will Ospreay looks hurt and is being checked on as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. MJF takes advantage of the situation, wearing down the champ throughout before bringing him back into the ring proper. Will Ospreay tries to fight back, but is caught with an armbar by the challenger, but the champ fights back to his feet as we come back from break. Will Ospreay heads to the ropes, but is cut off by MJF, who looks for salt of the earth, but instead set up for May in Japan to get a near fall on the champ. Will Ospreay use the ropes to get back to his feet, but MJF is still on top of him, wearing Will Ospreay down until the champ takes to the ropes once more to drop MJF with a corkscrew kick. MJF favoring Will Ospreay favoring his shoulder as he brings MJF back to his feet, laying in a couple strikes before MJF fights back with an elbow. Will Ospreay gets the upper hand here, hosting MJF onto his shoulders before hitting a modified blue thunder bomb for a near fall. MJF rolls to the apron, escaping the gas of the champ as he falls to the floor outside. Will Ospreay follows him outside, but he fought off by the challenger, who escapes through the crowd. Will Ospreay gives Chase for a walk and brawl that goes up through the stand with the champ getting a high five from a fan as he brings MJF back towards ringside with some more strikes along the way. One stop made on the trip. See Will Ospreay dipping the challenger into a trash can before finally taking the action over the barricade. With both men finally back at ringside, Will Ospreay sets MJ up on the table from earlier before climbing up top, but MJF drops off the table before rolling back in the ring. Will Ospreay gets caught by the challenger for a near fall. Before countering into one of his own, MJF gets another near fall as they trade off. Before Will Ospreay finally gets back to his feet, only for the challenger to get to the turnbuckle for a Long Island surprise. MJF covers the champ, but only gets a near fall for his efforts. The fight goes outside as MJF sets Will Ospreay on the table before climbing the turnbuckle, but this time it's the champ sliding off the table. MJF drops down, going back on the attack as he sends Will Ospreay to the barricade. He attacks Will Ospreay's arm before once again calling out Daniel Garcia through the camera, turning his attention back to the champ for more damage before heading back to the ring to break the referee's count. MJF gets MJF gets a running start as he goes back outside, running right into Will Ospreay before marking the crowd as he grabs a water bottle for a sip, spilling some water on Doc Sampson before going after the champion. He sends Will Ospreay towards the barricade, but the champ leads on leads on for an Oscar to send MJF to the floor. Will Ospreay favors his shoulder again as he brings MJF back into the ring. MJF tees a crossroads on the champ, only to take one from Will Ospreay instead. MJF gets sent to the corner where he used the ref as a shield to get over one on the champ before covering him for a near fall. MJF rejects setting Will Ospreay up for a heat seeker that the champ evades, only to get caught by his little assassins on the ropes by MJF, who gets a near fall for his efforts once again before setting up for a tombstone pile driver on the apron. But the champ escapes. Will Ospreay goes for one of his own, but MJF counters out, only to catch a kick to the head by Will Ospreay, who follows up with a Styles clash on the apron. I know AJ Styles was watching that, so yeah. Anyway, Will Ospreay sends the challenger back into the ring for a cover, but MJF managed to kick out. Will Ospreay is struggling, but managed to lift MJ up for a power bomb. But his challenger is once again able to stay in the match as a near fall. Takes us back to picture in picture. Back from picture in picture, Doc Sampson is called over to check on the champ's shoulder, as Will Ospreay appears to be struggling to even move his right arm. At this point, it appears the shoulder is dislocated, something dramatic, and Will Ospreay managed to finally resolve as Will Ospreay goes back after MJF, only for the TNT to cut to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, we see MJF heading to the ropes to take advantage of things once more, but is cut off by the champ for a near fall. Will Ospreay takes the ropes, this time only to be caught in a tombstone pile driver by MJF for a near fall of his own. Seeing the opening he needs, MJF goes right after that shoulder before a rapid tape around the champ's throat. The referee admonished him for this as MJF goes back after Will Ospreay sending him to the corner to keep the damage on the shoulder, mocking the fans in the Little Rock. MJF brings the champ back to his feet, but Will Ospreay sends him to the corner this time, fighting back until MJF drops him down to the mat. Will Ospreay managed to get back into it as he sent MJF to the outside, but the challenger cuts off a dive attempt. MJF mocks the fans once again, only to be sent into the camera, tagged by a Will Ospreay dive with the champ, bringing MJF back into the ring for a cover, for the challenger to kick out. Will Ospreay gets intercepted on the turnbuckle as MJF looks for a hurricanrana, but the champ catches him, dropping MJF to the mat with an avalanche Styles class instead. Will Ospreay struggles for a good position to pin, MJF, and this cost him as the challenger grabs a rope to force a break. MJF catches the champ on the rope before hitting a heat seeker that drives Will Ospreay's head onto the apron. MJF sends him onto the I'm sorry, MJF sends him onto the table outside once again, climb up top and lands a massive elbow drop, driving the champ through the table. Both men are barely moving as the referee checks on them, and we once again go to picture in picture. Back from picture in picture, MJF crawls away from the carnage, managing to get back into the ring as the referee begins the count. Will Ospreay finally managed to move enough to get back in the ring himself, breaking the count as MJF does everything he can to avoid dealing with the champ. Rising back to his feet, the challenger starts stomping away at Will Ospreay's leg as we go back to a full commercial break. Thanks again, TBS. So we go to commercial break. Back from the break, MJF catches Will Ospreay with a standing armbar using the top rope for leverage until the referee admonishes him. MJF grabs the ropes again until the referee once again gives out to him about it, and eventually gets to a point where the referee kicks MJF hand off the ropes to stop the chancery. This throws MJF off enough for Will Ospreay to get a couple near falls on the challenger, who fights back for a couple near falls of his own. Backslide by Will Ospreay for a near fall, but gets caught with a powerbomb that gives MJF a close near fall once more. Both men are still down as the referee checks on them. With Will Ospreay slowly getting back to a vertical base in the corner, while MJF tees a kangaroo kick, which get caught for a monkey flip attempt by the champ. MJF catches himself on the corner, but gets dropped with a cheeky naddle by Will Ospreay instead. Will Ospreay goes for a hurricanrana on the challenger, but MJF lands on his feet before charging at him in the corner. MJF goes for a hurricanrana of his own, but this time the champ lands on his feet, much to MJF's surprise. Will Ospreay to start fighting back with some hard strikes, leading to an insecurity sunset flip, leads into a series of near falls attempts by both men, and Will Ospreay goes for an Oscutter that gets interrupted by MJF. The two trade strikes and reversals now, leading to a Spanish fly by the champ, but MJF managed to kick out. Will Ospreay managed to get back to his feet, and as MJF heads to the corner where he gets set up by the champ, only for MJF to catch him for a tombstone piledriver attempt. Will Ospreay fights out, hitting an Oscar followed by the hidden blade, but it's only get him a near fall as the challenger is still in this. Will Ospreay sets up for another hidden blade, but MJF managed to a narrowly evade it, forcing the champ to crash to the mat instead. MJF tries to fight back before Will Ospreay hits him with a headbutt, and we get a 1 minute warning as Will Ospreay tees a Tiger Driver on MJF and pause even as he has MJF up for the move, softly dropping the challenger back to the mat instead, and MJF takes advantage of this by shoving the champ into the referee. With the referee down, MJF appears to be setting up for something before catching Will Ospreay with a massive right hand. MJF makes the cover with literally 2 seconds left in the match. He gets the pin and the win for the title. The winner by pinpoint in your new AEW International Champion MJF. This was the match of the night. And this match right here should have been main evented tonight. You should have put Swerve Strickland versus Okada and then do MJF versus Will Ospreay for the International Champion. Easy, simple booking. This was the match of the night right here. But I gotta question this one more time. Why this match for the International Champion between MJF and Will Ospreay was not main evented tonight? I don't know. This doesn't make any sense, but this was the best match of the night. All right, let's move on. Medics and officials check on both men as we get to an occasional shot of what MJF used to pick up this win. A peek at the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring he threw out to the floor as MJF is giving oxygen after everything he's been through. MJF has enough time to say we can thank him later, and we cut away. Um, it says hell of an opening match to kick things off. That this was a long one, but well worth it. Um, IMO some great action throughout a man was that a great finish with a big moment. With 2 seconds left, we have a new international champion in MJF. Hashtag AEW Dynamite 250. Alright, let's move on. Backstage, the acclaim talked to Mark Briscoe about joining Team AEW for Blood and Guts next week. Mark Briscoe accepts the offer, though he quickly turns his attention to Swerve Strickland, who addresses the former tag champs before asking if they're ready to get violent. Mark Briscoe calls out the Elite as the group walks away before a graphic for All In reminds us that Swerve Strickland will defend the AEW World Championship against Bryan Danielson. That match itself is gonna be slapping. That match is gonna be good. We then get a graphic for the champion versus champion match taking place tonight before headed back to the ring. All right, back in the ring. It's time for TV time. Big Bill welcomes the learning tree Chris Jericho, who talks about being at the very first Dynamite as we celebrate Dynamite AEW Dynamite 250. Jericho then acknowledges those who don't take the advice of the learning tree, showing footage of what happened to Hook, Shibata, and Samoa Joe as a result. And Chris Jericho wants to know who would be crazy enough to not listen to the learning tree, and it seems we may have an answer as Mario Suzuki walks down to the ring to get a great reception from the crowd. Suzuki has a paper in his hand, and he stares down the learning tree, grabbing his microphone to say next week before Brian Keith reads off the paper, revealing revealing an FTW championship match between Suzuki and Jericho, with Big Bill and Brian Keith banned from ringside. Suzuki punctuates the challenge with a headbutt before leaving the ring as we cut backstage with the Elite response to Team AEW's promo earlier. The Young Bucks hyped themselves up as well as Okada and Jack Perry, welcoming back Hangman Page to join their team next week. Before Mercedes Moné interrupts to thank the EVP for banning Britt Baker from backstage, Okada asks if Mercedes Moné can do the CEO dance for them before she walks off. Okada showing his uh gratitude before we cut to commercial break. That part was funny. That backstage that backstage segment was funny. It says two best things about this TV time segment were one, a chance to cool down from the opening match, and two, Suzuki challenging Jericho for next week. That does work for me, brother. Hashtag AW Dynamite 250. Alright, so we go to commercial break. Back at ringside, Mercedes Moné makes her way to the ring for our next match as she defends her TBS championship. Out next is the challenger as Nyla Rose, who heads to the ring before this match gets underway. So we get the next match, TBS champion match. Mercedes Moné defends against Nyla Rose. And this match right here, this this was this was a solid match. Yeah, this was a solid match. Mercedes Moné goes for a lockup, but is quickly sent to the corner by Nyla Rose, only to leap over to evade the challenger, who drops Mercedes Moné to the mat just as quickly. The champ managed to turn things around with a couple kicks, using the corner to inflict some more damage. But Nyla Rose fights right back, only for Mercedes Moné to evade a delayed vertical suplex. Mercedes Moné goes for a tornado DDT but gets caught by the challenger, who hangs her up on the top rope before delivering a knee drop for a near fall as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. Nyla Rose continues the attack ran down the champ as she sends Mercedes Moné into the corner. Mercedes Moné managed to escape, turning things around with a running double knee in the corner for a near fall. Mercedes Moné takes a moment before going back after the challenger, stumping away at Nyla Rose head in stumping Nyla Rose head to the corner. But the champ lays in some mounted punches, countering a power bomb into a hurricanrana for another near fall. She goes for the ambitional stretch, trying to wear Nyla Rose down even further until the challenger fights back with a boot, only to be caught once again by the champ as we come back from break. We're choked. So we're back from commercial break. We're choked by Mercedes Moné is broken up with a snap suplex, forcing Mercedes Moné to escape to the corner where the challenger catches her with a chop. Mercedes Moné's head to the opposite corner, but is caught with a hip attack. Now Rose makes the cover, but the champ kicks out to stay in this match. Now Rose climbs the turnbuckle, but is caught off by Mercedes Moné, who hits a splash on in a running dropkick in the corner. Mercedes Moné climbs back up for a meteor, but only get a 2 count for her efforts. The champ gets caught by Nyla Rose, setting her up on the top turnbuckle, but Mercedes Moné catches her with an avalanche bulldog. The champ pulls out a glove with CEO on it, marking Britt Baker as she clinches in a lockjaw. Only Nyla Rose who breaks out of it by biting the hand of Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné transitions to a statement maker, forcing Nyla Rose to tap out to retain. The winner by submission and still your TBS champion, Mercedes Moné. This was a solid match right here. Mercedes Moné celebrates before leaving the ring, ripping up a sign from a masked fan who shoves her away before taking the mask off to reveal Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She rushes after the champ, but security is able to in, 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 intensitate I'm sorry, intricated before things gets too crazy. This was a pretty solid match right here. That was a pretty solid match. All told, Nyla Rose made for a good challenger for the TBS champion, but the main focus here is on Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who pulls a page out of the Sting playbook to surprise Mercedes Moné after the match. Hashtag AEW Dynamite 250. Let's move on. Video package. Mariah May addressed turning on timeless Tony Storm, saying she would do anything to make Tony proud. And this one's for the champ. Commercial break. Backstage. Jack Perry addressed Darby Allin's challenge for from last week, telling him to find the champ tonight to find out what a real sacrifice looks like. we go back we go back to ringside where Tony Storm hits. I'm sorry, we go back to ringside where Tony Storm music hits. Only to reveal Mariah May to appear on the stage, dressed like dressed like the timeless one before heading to the ring. Mariah May enters the ring, grabbing a microphone to say, "Everyone saw this coming except Tony Storm." She calls the champion a woman so desperate for the spotlight that she didn't see she was giving it all away. The question shouldn't be why it should be Mariah May. What took so long? Mariah May says she didn't think it would take this long either, but she was having so much fun that she couldn't help staring things along until she saw Wemsley. She then says she can be Tony Storm, but now can be so much more. But didn't worry, Tony Storm. Mariah May still loves you. The crowd The crowd interrupts chanting, "We want Tony" to assume it of Mariah May. Mariah May says she never loved Tony Storm more than when she was on her knees, begging her to stop. Mariah May calls that Tony Storm greatest performance, and Mariah May greatest performance will be at AEW All In because All Elite Wrestling is now about Mariah May. And this promo right here, this segment right here, this was a good segment. After the shockingly turn from Mariah May last week, we finally heard from her tonight, and it was a good. It was good. Good promo helping set the stage for AEW All In. Slide note: after hearing about it from so many folks, I may have to finally give all about Eve a match soon. Hashtag AEW Dynamite 250. That was a good segment by Tony Storm and Mariah May. But okay, backstage, the Bang Bang Gang addressed having the Unified World Trios Championship stripped in footage from AEW Collision. Christopher Daniels confronts them to get the titles before the group calls out the Pedro, and if you're not down with that, they got two words for you. Two words for you. Guns up. So we go to commercial break. But we head back to ringside for our main event as the coin drops to signal the arrival of Okada, Kazuchika Okada, the AEW Continental Champion, heads to the ring for this champion versus champion match. His entrance cut off by the arrival of Swerve Strickland as the AEW World Champion heads to the ring next, and this match gets underway. So we get champion versus champion, AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland versus AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada. And this main event right here, I ain't gonna lie, this was a this was a fun main event. This was a good main event match for what it was. Alright. Without being said, this main event match was good, and that's all I gotta say. And let me continue. The two lock up with Okada getting the advantage first, only for Swerve Strickland to turn things around. They take to the ropes. Each man evades the other until Swerve Strickland hits an arm drag on Okada, who responds with a head scissors that Swerve Strickland escapes to lead us to a standoff. Okada sends him to the corner, but Swerve Strickland is quick. I'm sorry. It says Okada sends him to the corner, but Swerve Strickland is quick to counter, taking him to the mat before hitting an uppercut off the apron. He mocks Okada's son, drawing some RA from the Rainmaker, who gets to his feet. Before the two trade strikes, Okada mocks Swerve Strickland to get a free shot in. Swerve Strickland obliged with a kick down low. Swerve Strickland leaves the ring but is cut off with a DDT from Okada as we go to picture in picture. We're back from the final commercial break in picture in picture. Okada stays in control, wearing down Swerve Strickland before bringing him back into the ring for more damage. Swerve Strickland fights back, but is quickly taken down by the Rainmaker. Before the fight heads to the corner, Okada sends Swerve Strickland across the ring and follows with a flying hip attack, mockingly the crowd as Swerve Strickland tries to recover. Okada goes right back after the world champion, but Swerve Strickland fights back with a right hand before Okada shoves him off, only for a 2 count to trade strikes as we come from break. Back from break, Okada gets caught with a strike on the jaw, giving Swerve Strickland an opening, but not for long as he gets rattled in the corner by the Rainmaker. Okada goes after him on the apron now, but Swerve Strickland fights out of a tombstone piledriver attempt. Swerve Strickland takes to the corner for a rolling flatliner, followed by a long blower for a close near fall. Swerve Strickland heads to the corner, but is cut off by Okada, who hits a net breaker for a near fall of his own. Before the the Continental Champion gets to his feet, he brings Swerve Strickland up as well, hitting a scoop slam before climbing up top for an elbow drop and giving the people something they don't want, only for Swerve Strickland to roll him up for a near fall. Swerve Strickland starts fighting back now, but is quickly cut off by a dropkick from the Rainmaker. Okada goes to the corner, but is intercepted by Swerve Strickland for a neck breaker and a big power slam. Swerve Strickland goes up top, but Okada evades a Swerve stomp and drops him with a tombstone pile driver. Okada Ghostway Rainmaker, but Ghost Okada Ghostway Rainmaker Larry. That's all I was trying to say. But I'm glad to I correct myself. So let me read that one more time. Okada Ghostway Rainmaker Larry, but it gets countered by Swerve Strickland, and the Young Bucks rush into the ring, blindsiding the world champion, and the referee calls for the bell. So the winner by disqualification, Swerve Strickland. All right, that was a good main event. Jack Perry runs in to gang up on Swerve Strickland, but the Acclaim and Mark Briscoe run down to even the odds. Chaos ensures Swerve Strickland eventually cleared the ring, but Hangman Page comes down to confront his fear, fear, fiercest rival. The two end up brawling out of the ring and through the crowd, and we turn our attention to the other men who on both squad for blood and guts going at it outside the ring until Darby Allin's music hits. The crowd gets wild, gets rallied up as we finally see where Darby Allin is coming from, and Daredevil from AEW comes down from the Raptors just like Sting did. Yeah, just like Sting did, to join the fray. Officials are doing all they can to break things as AEW Dynamite 250 comes to a close. What a fun main event we had between Swerve Strickland and Kazuchika Okada tonight. The disqualification finish sort things only slightly as we quickly transitions to the chaos building up, blood and guts next week. Hashtag AEW Dynamite 250. And I mentioned the Sting playbook earlier tonight. A boy, howdy did we get another page used by the Icons Prestige of Shorts and Darby Allin coming down from the Raptors to A Team AEW. Archie in the arena was awesome, but can Blood and Guts top it next week? Hashtag AEW Dynamite 250. And overall, a solid addition of AEW Dynamite to celebrate 250 episode with the highest IMO being the opening match and the moment building of Blood and Guts next week. I reckon that one will be brutal, and there is a lot on the plate to go along with it. And AEW Dynamite 250 goes off the air. And that's all I have to say. Now, AEW Dynamite 250 was a good show, and that's all I have to say. But the first match between Will Ospreay and MJF for the International Championship should have been main evented. You should have put um Kazuchika, what's his name? I said Okada. Kazuchika Okada versus Swerve Strickland in the first match first, and then you do MJF versus Will Ospreay in the main event for the AEW International Champion. Easy, simple booking, and that's all I have to say. But AEW Dynamite 250 was a good show, and that's all I have to say. If you guys enjoyed my AEW Dynamite 250 review on highs, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys think of AEW Dynamite 250 because it was a good show, and that's all I have to say. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new for more wrestling content because I'm on the road to 6K and I'm only 2 away from 6K. Help me get to 3K watch hours, and so I become YouTube partner, and that's all I have to say. But first, before I end this video, let me get something off my chest here. This is something serious. I just want to take the time out of my night to just thank you guys so much for all the love and support, man. Continue to be yourself, focus on yourself and your friends and family. At the end of the day, nobody is perfect. Just continue to be the best who you are, and just do something that you're really good at. If you put your mind into something, you'll do something that's really good. And when it comes to me doing wrestling reviews, I analyze about what happened from start to finish. I am the best supporter on YouTube. If you guys want to be a member of the KFG Club, sign it up down below in the comment section because I'm recruiting everybody. But anyway, enough of that being said, I'm going to make a YouTube short video and I'm going to show you guys 100% full proof that I'm going to have an AEW Dynamite 250 upcoming world premiere review. Upcoming world premiere for my AEW Dynamite 250 review, and highlights. Tonight, around 4 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, Eastern time, I'm going to show you guys 100% foolproof when I make a YouTube short video. But anyway, I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kids, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here, gang. And I will be going live tomorrow for some Fortnite, so you make sure you guys be there. And help me get to 6K subscribers because I'm only 2 away from 6K subscribers. And I hope I get 3K watch hours so I become YouTube partner for the first time so I get that join button. And that's all I gotta say. So I can get the super stickers and in the super chat. So make sure you guys be on my live stream for some Fortnite tomorrow. And that's all I gotta say. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And now I'm out of here.